What's going on, everybody? Today we're building another access controls enclosure here. We got a different scenario this time. We got a couple boards here, and then we're mounting one on the door. This one is actually it's acceptable to do this. Usually they have pre-made holes in these type of enclosures where you can mount the screws, standoffs. If you don't know what a standoff is, it's the little like spacer in between the board and the enclosure with the screw. But yeah, just want to show you guys real quick. We got a small system here going on at this location that we're gonna be doing some access controls. We have the master board, primary board, secondary, and we got one of our guys here putting it all together. And yeah, guys, just want to show you guys real quick what we got going on. It's not fully done, that's why it looks kind of like, you know, you still gotta put more zip ties and dress these cables nicer. But this is another system we're doing here. And taking a little break right here, taking lunch. You know, we don't play when it comes to taking lunch. You know, gotta take the lunch to refuel our systems. And homeboy over here got the homemade food. Damn, the girl hooking him up, you know, with the rice and chicken stew and all that good stuff. And you know, say drinking the water bottle, stay hydrated. I'm drinking nothing but the sugar. But yeah, guys, just want to show you guys real quick. We're doing another install here. If you guys have any questions, just feel free to leave them down below. All right, guys, so some of the wiring has already been done by one of our technicians. Still got a little bit of cleanup to do. Throw a couple more zip ties and obviously put the pipe and everything. But this here is going to be we're going to be cutting over from an old system, which is S2, and we're going to be taking over with Mercury boards through Genetec. Here, as y'all can see, this is what we're going to be taking over. I got the door just hanging right here, but this is pretty much your S2 with S2 software, and we're going to be taking over. Just want to show you guys what we're doing here, and then we got that enclosure that's going to eventually go up here. Where's the key for this one? Key. Just show you guys the beautiful mess they got going on here. So y'all see this? This is the S2 setup. They usually have the blades going on like that, or just stick the blades. Honeywell does this as well. I've seen some of the enclosures from them. They have the same setup. But as y'all can see, we're gonna be taking over. They got a few doors. Obviously, your power source is out here, and I was just showing one of my guys how to properly do a cutover. Obviously, we're gonna do this carefully, but before anything, we like to make sure that our system is up and running, and then we'll go ahead and do door by door. But eventually, all this is gonna go away. We're gonna mount our enclosure, and it's gonna look like this. All right, guys, so we're about to confirm voltage on the system real quick to properly adjust our power on the new enclosure that's going to be installed right here. So how much we got going on right here, brother?
We got 26 volts.
Okay, so pretty much the system is working under 24 volts for your locks. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and unplug the power from our enclosure, like I was showing you guys right here. And we're going to go ahead and adjust the power for these so they can go ahead and feed the locks 24 volts. How are we going to do that on this setup? This is a FPO75. We have a little jumper right there. Oh, y'all can see that. Let me see if I could. Okay, and it says right there 1224 volts. And the same thing for the following one at the bottom. 1224 volts. So do you see those right there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so those jumpers, let's adjust them. You see that one right there?
Yeah.
Okay, so that one, put it on 24, and the other one, leave it at 12. So that's fine. And then once you do that, we'll plug it back on, because on the live safety enclosures, just so you know, guys, you need to unplug the power, pretty much kill the power to the system to be able to adjust the power source for the FPO's power supplies. Okay, we'll keep on moving on. After doing a quick visual inspection, I usually like to make sure that we keep the boards unplugged, the MR50, the LP1502, and just so you are asking, LP1502 board, the MR52, and we got the other MR52. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and hook up power to it. I got power source unplugged on the Mercury boards, like I was saying. Missed one. And then we'll hook everything up, hook it up to power. And just to verify that power is good to go, we had to do some minor adjustments on the power source. It looks like we still got to do a couple. So we got the FPL 75 up there, pushing your 12 volts, your 24 volts, and then your 12 volts for this other one. So you can tell right there by the light, that one's pushing 24 volts and that one is pushing 12 volts. So 12 volts for your lock, 24 volts for your lock, and 12 volts for your motion detectors or any other siren or whatever you want to hook up. And here on this one, we're gonna be changing the little jumpers right here, the yellow ones, to go ahead and get 24 volts to the locks out there in the field, since we just verified that the existing system is taking 24 volts for the locks. So once we power everything up and we don't get no faults, we do have a fault right there for those who have experience. Like I said, this videos that I do is just to teach the guys that don't usually have experience, show them the basics. The light right there, amber light, it's system fault. I already know what that is. I usually get that whenever there's a fault or a short or something going on within the power sources. But in this case, it's missing the batteries. So that's what that means right there. We'll go ahead and power up our boards right here. So we got this board hooked up. We'll power this other one up. And then we'll power this other one up. And I like to do this separate from powering everything up, because you just never know. You don't want to, since we built this one from scratch, I don't want to burn anything and confirm that all my wiring is correct. But so far everything's working just fine. We probably just have to do minor adjustments for the power source for the card readers. There's a jumper right here. It says 12 volts or pass. We got it on 12 volts. It's good. And we should have this one at 12 volts also. Where's that jumper for this one? Right here, I'll find it. 12 volts or pass through. This one is at 12 volts. And this one should be at 12 volts also. Somewhere around there. So yeah, that way we feed the card readers the proper voltage and not 24 volts. And power source, like I told you guys, it's coming in from there for your system, which is your Mercury boards. All right guys, now that we have adjusted our power, your board here, your blue light's indicating that you got 24 volts flowing through this D8 power source, relay C. And then this one is pretty much your C8, indicating with the green lights that it's pushing 12 volts. And you could go ahead and change both. You know, the yellow jumpers, like I said, are the ones that can determine from what power supply you're getting your power source. So as you can see, at PL75 number 2 and number 1. And then obviously those jumpers have a 1 and a 2. And then pretty much where you're getting your power source from. You could change it from 24 to 12, but this system here particularly is going to be using this setting right here. All right guys, so the next thing we're doing is addressing the boards here. We got one of our guys right there. Yeah, that one's going to take address number 1. So pretty much dip switch number 1. So dip switch number 1 on, and other 4 off. 6, 7, and 8 are usually for another set of settings, right? So we usually leave those as defaults, which is 6, 7 on and 8 off. So 1 through 5 dip switches will go ahead and technically address your board. So this one In this setup here, we have a primary board, secondary. So up at 1502 doesn't take an address, just an IP. This one is gonna be address 0. That's how we like to do it here. And then address 1. Okay, so address 0 is typically just dip switches 1 through 5 turned off. That will give you address 0. And this one over here is gonna be all dip switches 2, 3, 4, and 5 off and 1 on. That'll be address 1.